Hello and welcome to that one DnD live stream where we D&D the hell out of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm Matt, your Dungeon Master, and they warned us, don't cross the live streams. And we all said, hold my D20. So, welcome back. This is episode 3 and 4 of our live stream. And let's send it around the table and introduce all of the players and the characters that they're playing.
Hi, my name is Tracy.
I know, I forget mine too.
I do on occasion. I'm playing Temperance Steel, and she is an Amazon.
What's the race?
Well, Amazon.
Oh, Amazon is the. Oh, right.
Amazon is
So
the
sorry.
race.
Oh,
It is.
I'm
That's
sorry.
part of the-
Actually,
Sorry.
I guess she's half human,
Half human, half Amazon.
Thank you.
And I know this because I'm Pierce
Amazon.
Steele. I'm also half Amazon, but a male. Ponder that one. And I'm a bard, and that's me.
My name is Maddie. I'm playing Jolvis, and he is a
My name is Landon. I am playing Disco. He is a red-skinned tiefling, and he is a sorcerer.
And I'm Sean. I'm playing Fat Gill. He is a lizard folk shaman. His name translates, just so y'all know, into redneck in the common tongue. And he'll be playing a hillbilly throughout the campaign.
All right. So, before we get into a recap of the last 2 episodes, I want to welcome 2 new members of the team here. Sarah and Barrett are going to be doing our video. They're going to be doing our audio. They're going to be adding to our story with some amazing sound and music and things like that. And we're just excited to have them as part of the team. So, welcome. And there's plenty of goodies and beer and other things in the fridge. So,
Not for the audience.
but not for the audience.
Sorry.
So,
Well, there might be plenty over there, too.
Come on over.
We're just not going to send it.
So, a quick recap on what happened in the first 2 episodes or sessions, if you will, of our campaign. That was where we introduced all of the characters, and they were in 2 groups. So, you had Disco and Pierce and Jolvis, who had been spending time in the city of Dragasani, which is the capital of a kingdom called Drobada. And Drobada is at war with the elves of Ubun Taido. So, as our 3 characters were kind of extricating themselves from a difficult situation where they were caught in bed with a wealthy merchant's wife,
That's what I'm talking about.
our other 2
difficult.
characters,
More difficult.
Temperance and Fat Gill, were arriving by sea in Temperance's ship, having sailed from another part of the various realms. As they were approaching the city, Temperance discovered that the harbor of Dragasani had been emptied, and that the harbor master and the defenses were not allowing any other ships in. Well, she said, hold my D20, and she took the ship in.
Actually, the gnome captain said, hold my beer, and he meant like 7 kegs of
7
right?
kegs of whiskey.
And they loaded
That's
us
right.
on the boat,
That's
and,
right.
He's from the Cahoots.
So Temperance led her ship in, taking fire from the harbor defenses. The ship was heavily damaged on its way in. When it reached the dock, the harbor master arrived with a cohort of guards, and Temperance found herself not meeting up with her brother Pierce as she had hoped to do, but rather she and her crew and Thakil were taken into custody and taken to the city's dungeons.
Oof.
So we switch real quickly. So Pierce and Jolvis and Disco, they are, they realize, as everybody else does, that the elves have come to lay siege to the city. And as that announcement is being made, a friend of Pierce's tells him that there's a ship in the harbor, and that the word is that it's owned by Amazons. So Pierce and the team, went down, investigated the ship, found out that the crew had been taken prisoner, went to the dungeon. At that point, things got a little bit messy as Pierce went into the dungeon with Fat Gill, only to have Fat Gill, or excuse me, you're already in the dungeon, excuse me. So Pierce went in by himself in disguise.
Right, with guards. So
With
I
guards.
disguised myself as the guard captain and hauled the guards down.
That's right.
And then...
As you were in seeing your sister for the first time in many, many, many years, Fat Gill, from his cell on the opposite side of the dungeon corridor, decided to cast Thunder Wave, killing
as one does.
killing two of the guards. And,
Naturally.
yes, exactly. All the time.
You come home, you don't dress like a robber. You get shot.
Such a great point.
So the
We're gonna
casting
like
of
the country baked wisdom in this. This is gonna be fun.
So, those kinds of magical attacks set off the dungeon's defenses. The dungeon goes into lockdown. Outside, Jolvis and Disco, kind of seeing what is going on, realize that they need to do something to get some help. So they go off to meet with a business acquaintance of Disco
Something like so. Yeah.
to get some help in getting their friends out of this difficult situation. So, as we were just wrapping up the last session, the Crown Prince, now I have to put my glasses on,
Okay, boom.
Prince...
Hey.
Oh.
Trigger word, but we're actually Gen Xers.
That's right.
Thank you.
That doesn't sound
Got him.
We don't look a day over Gen X, do we?
We don't look a day over Gen X. Sorry, our bad. My bad.
A year over, even.
Not even.
So, Prince Bogomil showed up at the prison by himself and met with Temperance and Pierce and Fat Gill and indicated that he could help them get out of the dungeon if they would be willing to find a spot for him on their ship so that he could get out of the city, so that in the event that the city is overrun by the elves, there's a member of the royal family that can come back and retake the city.
He's a giver.
He's definitely a giver.
There's those people.
So that's a recap on things, and future recaps will be a little bit tighter than that. So where we pick up, we'll pick up. We are in the dungeons. The Crown Prince is standing in the corridor. You are in your cells. You're in the other cell, and at this point, Bogomil gestures to his guard Gristos, who is a gold dragonborn, and Gristos pulls out of a pouch out his belt a ring of keys, hands them to the Crown Prince. The Crown Prince opens up Temperance and Pierce's cell first, then hands it back to Gristos, who comes over and opens up your cell. The Crown Prince says, "Come with me."
Absolutely. Let's go.
Now, I cannot take you out the front door. That would be bad. I don't have that kind of power, right? Not that kind of, it would be strange to say that I'm just walking you out. But there are secret ways in and out of dungeons. So follow me. And he takes you down the corridor.
Before he does, I turn back to the halfling. Coming?
Underwear.
And Havling just sitting there thinking about it, kind of kicking his feet back and forth and says, I think I will.
Oh,
Let's go.
this is gonna be a really
What is your
crowded
name, by
boat.
the way?
Yeah.
They call me Stranhild.
Strandhild.
Yes.
Excellent. How do you call you Hildy?
No.
Oh, really?
But thanks for asking. And Strandhild
polite.
kind of just tucks into line with the rest of you. Still has that blanket that she had been wrapped up in the cell. Just gets in line. The Crown Prince takes you in the opposite direction of the main doors into this section of it, to the far end of the cells, where you can see that the cells actually stop short, and where you thought was like a stone wall that ended it, there are actually narrow patches to the left and right. He takes you to the left, and you begin to wind your way back several turns left and right. The ceiling gets lower, and the musty smell of wet stone becomes more and more prominent. He reaches a point where it terminates, and he looks at you and says, "Everybody close eyes." And then
All right.
you see
Eyes are closed.
eyes are closed, and you hear a hand kind of fumbling on a wall, and then
Yeah.
okay, it's okay. You open eyes, and
There's
there's
trust he has.
you can you can see that there's a passage beyond this with a very narrow stairs leading down. It says, "Passage take you to safety. So follow stairs down, follow hallway. Get to end of hallway. Go left, right. Don't go right. Go left.
Go left only.
Go left.
Left
Do
only.
not go right.
Left it is.
Left. Follow all the way left. Take a little bit of time, but you get to end. End is metal grate, but metal grate not locked. so it's easy to get out. Your gear will be waiting for you there.
Excellent.
There is old barrels sitting off to one side, leaf top of barrel. Stuff will be inside barrel.
Perfect.
So
You've been Prince of Man. I shake his hand. We'll
This
see
is-
you soon on the boat.
this is so good. Then he turns to
Thank
you
you,
and he
kind
takes
sir.
your hand in his and says, we will be waiting for a signal from you to come join you for the boat. Be safe, and you will still be fugitive. So don't go wandering street, or you'll end up back in here and we'll have to do this all over again, but without the killing things.
Thank you kindly.
All right. So you go, and I will wait for a signal.
Okay.
So-
Excellent.
And then as you're going down the stairs, you hear him saying to his bodyguard, "We didn't settle on signal." And then the door.
Oh, it'll be obvious.
It's gonna be hard
It'll
to
probably
miss.
be
I'm sure,
very
or whatever.
It'll
it
be
is.
all the fireballs trying to get us as we leave.
Go to the center of where things are attacking.
It'll be our bloody
us.
cries for help.
So the door shuts, and everything just goes pitch black.
All right. Can anyone see? I'm thinking of that.
I can see all right.
Thag, would you lead the way? I don't know that lighting lights might be a good example. A good
I surely will.
idea.
Are you still disguised?
No, I threw the disguise down with
Kill, no,
celebrants.
left from right. So I'm a little worried about that.
My mama told me that that's left. Am I right?
You are correct.
Oh, you guys can't see.
You are correct.
Sorry.
All right, let's go. I got it. I got this.
All right, so we're going to leave you as you are making your way slowly down these steps in these very narrow, old corridors to join up with Disco and Jolvis, who have left the office of Mirko. No, not Mirko. No.
It's Z. Doesn't
Zulkar.
Z.
Yeah.
Zulkar.
Oh,
So
Zulkar.
you've made arrangements with Zulkar. He is going to get your companions out of prison, and in return for that, you have agreed to provide a space on Temperance's ship for one of his clients.
Jarvis, I don't think that could have gone literally any better.
I totally agree with
And
you.
if this plan goes how we think it's going to be smooth sailing, quite literally.
Perfect. And
I
we
don't
just-
think they're in jail. What could possibly come up that would throw this out of whack?
Right? We just look at us, problem
Literally
solving.
nothing.
We've
Oh,
got
we
this
are
whole
so
thing
good.
taken care of.
Well, I don't know how quickly they're going to be out of jail. But they're in jail, which is leading me to think that we are going to probably need to leave. What are we going to do? Are we leaving?
I don't know. Should we go to the jail? Or
How
should-
big? When you saw the army, like how big was it?
Like, pretty freaking big.
Okay. That's not good.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we
Do we go to the prison and try to meet them?
wave at them from the outside? It would be important to be there for them when they get out. I would agree with that. But I don't think they're going to be getting out anytime soon. Perhaps it would be best if we go back to my place and wait for them there for a little bit, or collect our things.
Yeah.
I'm sure that
Yeah.
there's stuff that
That's
you need to
probably
take
a
care
good
of
idea.
before we leave. There are certainly things
Yeah.
that I could do if we are in fact leaving, which I have a feeling we don't have a choice about.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so you begin to you work your way out of this very old office building down into the streets, and as they have been every day since the elves made their landing a while back, the streets are just filled with peasants who are trying to find places to stay, hoping for a scrap of food.
We have a ship.
Oh my
Everyone.
It's a cruiser. Like literally, you can cruise.
We've got so much room.
So as normally you'd be able to move up and down the streets fairly easily, but there's just a lot of people. There are also priests and clergy from the various temples who are giving food to to try and help. They're passing out blankets, things like that. So it's a little bit cramped and not as easy to maneuver as you would like. As you're, it's late afternoon.
Okay.
So as you are working your way down the street, heading in the direction of your district, you see a beggar kind of separate himself from the crowd. He's wearing this disheveled old surcoat that has seen better. It's faded. There's hardly any color left in it, and he's hobbling along with a crutch under one arm and this clay pot in his other hand. Disco, you recognize him as Bold Jeffrey.
Yes, of course, Bold Jeff.
He's a
That's bold over there.
Jeffrey's thing when he's begging is he tells everybody how he was in the military. He was a decorated soldier, but life turned for him when he lost his leg. You know that he still has his leg. It's just kind of tucked and tied up.
This guy is total bullshit. He's how you say, full of it.
So Jeffrey hobbles out into the middle of the street about 15 feet ahead of you and starts to kind of click in your direction. And he's holding the ball and he's like, "Alms for the poor. Alms for a soldier who lost his leg so that you can all huddle here on the street while the enemy is at the gates. Alms for the poor. A copper.
Hello. Hi.
Oh.
How are you today?
I've been better, Disco. How are you?
Things are just crazy, right? Can you believe it? Unreal. We were just talking about how crazy it is.
That is a good way to put it. And he gets right up towards you and he holds the ball out and he leans in and he just looks you in the eye and says, very quietly, "The Copper King wants to see you." And then he just keeps going and he kind of tips his head to Jolvis to acknowledge Jolvis, and then he just kind of pushes his way past you.
Do I know who the Copper King is?
You do know who the Copper King is. So the Copper King, the Copper King got that name because he is basically taken the position of the King of the Beggars. So he kind of runs the Beggars Guild. Mm-hmm. And he does so by force of will and by just also brute force. So
just a nice, reasonable guy.
Really nice.
He's gonna be a great meeting that's coming up here.
So he holds court in an abandoned monastery that is up by the temple district. And when he calls for people to come see him, it's usually a good idea. You have a very long-standing relationship where you and he have made deals from time to time.
Understood, yes, that's what I was assuming. All right, well, Jorvis, we have a slight change of plans. It's going to be very quick, very brief. Don't get too worked up about it. We just have to go say hi to a friend of mine. Perhaps you could come along, just as, my friend, please. That would be very nice if you would come.
Yeah, I'm pretty used to this by now.
All right.
So
yes, well, this will be great.
Okay.
All right.
It'll take you a few minutes to get there, so let's go back to our group that is underground. Thakil, where are we?
We're in a tunnel.
Have we taken the left? I assume we have. Yes, I can feel if I'm turning.
And I'm feeling the wall.
Yes.
You feeling the wall? Give me a one survival check.
You got it.
With advantage.
That would be a 13 and a 9.
A 9? Okay, so, yeah, you work your way down through this passage. The stairs led down for quite a while. And then it was just basically kind of a turning left and right. You reach the end. You can see the passage off to the right. There's warm air that's just kind of curling out from that area. It goes beyond your vision. To the left, the air is kind of stale.
It's warmer to the right.
We should go left.
It's warmer to the right.
I hear and understand your right warm comment, and we should definitely go left.
All right, then. Follow me. Oh, you can't see. Temperance. I'll take Temperance's hand. She's really the one I care about the most. Lead her off to the left.
I'm gonna tag it on to Temperance too. So.
Okay, so kind of
Plus Amazon.
Oh, that's right. You've got your group.
Just blindly like, where'd they go? Where did they go?
That gives sort of guiding them off to the right.
Lola.
You guys go that way.
I smell
Go check out the rat.
We'll meet you at the end.
So, again, you're working your way down the corridor. It's very slow going because the floor is a little bit more uneven. In fact, these feel much more like they were carved from the stone. So, whereas before you had slate and other stone that had been fitted on the floor, here it's very uneven, kind of raising and following, patches going up and down, left and right. and you'll travel for about 20 minutes at a very slow pace.
Wow.
So Thaco, what part of the provinces do you come from?
The Foul Plume Mountains. You ever heard of them?
Have I? I assume, roughly. Should I roll?
Yeah, you're familiar with it.
Okay. Yeah. And you're here because, just curious.
I'm here because I need to get you two together. See, I had myself a vision. We have those in the Foul Plume Mountains. They're
Interesting.
just things that we get. And that vision kind of led me to Temperance. And it's going to lead me to 3 others.
3
And
others.
you're one of them.
Do you know what they look like?
They look like lights in my vision.
Um,
But I'll know when I see them.
well, I have 2 friends who are probably
Unless
going
they're
to meet
disguised
us.
like a guard and I blast them into oblivion.
No,
Otherwise, I'll know them when I see them.
well, that was a fair call, by the way. Absolutely. I do have 2 friends who are going to meet us. Perhaps those are the other 2.
Perhaps they are.
All
Now,
right.
shall we go?
Let's do it.
Continue.
Right, so you continue on, and Thakil, you can see that the ceiling kind of is just undulates a little bit, not like stalactites or anything like that, but it's very rough. You can see where pieces of stone have fallen down on the edges. It doesn't look like this passage gets much traffic at all.
And it's naturally hewn from through the.
Yeah, it's been not naturally. It's been cut. It would look like it was a natural tunnel, but they cut it in areas to widen it and kind of keep it a little bit more straight. Okay. And the floor is slick. And as you're moving along, you hear, just as you pass under, you hear just the faintest of a scritching on the ceiling.
I'll take a look at that.
I need a marching order. We don't have to put it on the table.
I'll just say,
you, and you.
Me and
Okay.
the
And then
Amazon's
3
behind us, I guess.
The Amazons are behind.
Lola
Yes.
would be the first.
I'm just going to make everybody stop. Everybody quiet. Everybody listen.
Everybody stop. Oh,
So-
I said stop.
So Pierce, you feel something land on your head and envelop your head.
Okay. I'm behind Temperance. So I
Mhm.
immediately go down. And
Everybody roll initiative.
First combat.
11.
My pierces and treble senses are tingling. Follow me.
I can feel it.
I can never really
Don't say
stop.
spidey senses, 'cause they're probably spiders.
So you rolled 11?
11.
11. Okay.
2.
2.
Oh, wait. 2 plus 6. Sorry. 2 plus 6. So it's 6.
That's backwards, right? No, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's good. And then possession monster also got an 11. All right. In the 11th, Thakio, what do you do?
Am I alerted to this at all?
Yes.
Or- okay, so I can see something dropping.
So
So say,
Okay.
Pierce, you got something right here. And
Thunderwind.
I'm going to cast Fairy Fire in the area.
Okay.
Nice.
Now, do you have to pass this on something?
It's an area of effect.
Okay.
If I understand.
I think things in the area have to make a saving throw.
Yep.
Or they get lit up.
They get lit up, an advantage to all of our attacks. In that case,
Nice.
that is a DC. It's a DC 14. Those
What kind of saving throw?
hoods. What's that?
What kind of saving throw?
207. Yes. I'm learning my alphabet still. So, it is 20-foot cube. So it can be outlined in color of my choice. I choose blue. Any creature in the area of the spell. Failed dex saving throw.
Okay. All right.
If you can't see because you're hooded, I would even know.
Yeah. Well, see that. So that's the thing. As you feel something wrap around your head.
Right.
Like everything just goes dark. So before you get your spell off, just so you put it in context, usually you can see just fine, but everything just goes pitch black.
Oh, him too?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So, but the difference is that you don't feel anything on you. Pierce feels something just engulf his head. For
It's the FBI throwing a hood over.
3 points of
Wake up.
3 points of bludgeoning damage. As you just feel this creature just begin to constrict on your head.
Okay.
Sure. You are most definitely blind.
Now Pierce goes to a knee. Pulls out his best weapon, a mandolin.
Okay, so that gives you cast Fairy Fire.
Fairy fire, yes.
Will it have a? Does it have a neutralizing effect on darkness?
It does.
Really good question.
I
It
doubt it.
does say they can't be creatures can't benefit from being invisible, but that's the extent.
So
It does anything for magical darkness. There's not much that like.
For purposes of this, though, we'll say that you cast it in the area, and anybody you can see within 10 feet, like you are in normal darkness.
Okay.
So you can still see you, even though things are lit up. You can't see them. It's just this darkness has just pinched down. I mean, you can't. There's nothing, right? Okay, so that
I'm glad we're not Zam.
no.
So that's
Can I go?
Oh wait. No, I'm also fucked. I
Pierce.
forgot. Almost was.
Pierce. Well, Pierce is out of spells, and he's out of luck. But he can identify his location. It's kind of an alarming sort of a, I guess, sort of a little ditty he plays.
Okay, so
He's in the corner. And he gets faster and faster, and he gets more anxious and anxious as it goes forward.
Help me! Help me!
So Temperance, you can hear next to you. You can hear where Pierce was at. You can hear this strumming music, this desperate
he had a
music.
whole-
And I also had an
Oh,
arm,
yeah,
but I let
yeah,
go to
yeah,
play the
yeah.
mandolin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would Pierce.
As soon as she grabs my hand, I put it on this thing.
So you feel it's almost like it's a kind of a slick, kind of a leathery feel of something that's just wrapped entirely around his head. You can feel these the almost like tentacles that have like wrapped under his armpits, and then the top kind of goes off, kind of like a hood. It's like he's wearing this leather hood that's just sucked in. You can actually feel like where his nose is. What do you do?
So
And he's kind of down on the ground.
Those are so good.
I say, by the power of Estrella, and throw my arms up in the air and hit my arms together with because I've got these
Golden arms.
bracelets. Well,
Yep.
not golden, but they're there.
Map it.
Ferocity, take over,
wouldn't.
and I start to rage.
Ooh, okay. So you're raging. All right.
Nice.
So I'm gonna
Babies
try
be
and
popping.
Mainly her biceps.
yeah. So I want to
Okay.
short sword it and like.
Oh.
If I can get a hold of
You can
Sorry,
grab the
Percy.
top and you can go at it. It kind of depends on if you want to just like saw at it,
Uh-huh.
then you won't do as much damage as swinging and stabbing.
As I hold on to it, I decide I
Ah!
want to try and rip it off.
Oh,
I want
okay.
to grapple it.
All right. So let's do. Yeah, you're gonna.
His weakest point is his
Okay.
neck.
So give me a strength roll.
Oh, it's with the damage.
Yep.
So
Now, do you get an advantage on grappling or just melee attacks?
it's on strength checks.
Don't worry, Jim.
Oh,
I see
okay,
it.
cool.
Yeah.
Temperance is a little distracted.
Oh my gosh, that's perfect. So it's 15.
So you reach in and now you grab a hold of it and just pull it off, and you can just thank you, and it's in your hands, just squirming.
Ooh.
You can hear your Amazon crew. They're like, "What's going on? What's going on? I can't see anything. What's
Let's do some
going on?"
CrossFit.
Parkour!
Okay, top of the turn. You got it in your hand. So now, top of the new turn. Faggot, what do you do?
Can I see her holding this
Yeah,
thing?
she's holding a thing. It kind of looks like a squid, right?
Damn, I'm hungry. I'm gonna bite it.
Bite it.
I'm gonna go right in there.
There you
My
go.
close
Roll
enough,
the
it's
hits.
5 feet,
Mm-hmm.
and I get advantage on the hit, unless it fails. Oh, I got a good hit.
Could be a crit.
17. Bite gets no additional.
That'll hit.
So
That'll hit.
1d6.
It's advantage the die.
Oh shit. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
It could be. a crit
But it's
now,
not.
But it's not.
But it's
So I got 1.
Well, Mike, so you go in and bite it, and it just reacts to it. It just lurches around, and you can see it's got at that one like eyes open up on it. It's got these yellow eyes like all around, like halfway down it. Pierce, what do you do?
Pierce. So I don't know what's going on. I just know Charles
Nice
is right here. Impromptu. And I say temperance for our family. Attack it and kill it. And you get a inspiration.
All right. So as you are saying that, and you are feeling the
I was
inspiration.
in action.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now what you do?
So I'm going to
Sing about
I
it.
can't see it.
Can't see it.
Okay, so I know she grabbed it though.
It's in my
As my
hands.
action, can I like grab her arm and then just take my dagger and try and like nick it or stab it or something
Yeah.
like that? Okay.
You just do it with it'll be at disadvantage. Yes, you can.
Hey,
be careful.
That's my dinner.
17. Oh no, that's not it. So 8.
Ooh. Straight up 8?
Yeah.
You try to, but it's just fighting in her hands, and it goes wide. Okay. So Pierce, you try to slash at it, nothing works. At that point, Thagil, you feel
Ooh.
another one. It wrap itself around your head.
Dang.
Well, he was biting the other one, so did it wrap it around its own friend too?
So it
Like Russian
away,
dolls.
and then you take 7 points of restriction.
Oh,
shit! It just
That ain't no good.
chokes off your windpipe and just begins
Someone
to
wanted
crush
to
your
know where
skull.
the air was stale.
I told you.
No one
Temperance.
wanted to go where the air was stale. No one wanted to go where the air was not stale.
Temperance, what do you do?
So I'm holding on to
You're
it.
holding on to one.
I want to take my short sword.
Stab it. Okay. So roll to hit with advantage. Nine. So 9 with advantage.
Yeah.
It should be like 11.
So let's also roll back.
Oh yeah, sorry, 11.
11. Okay. Hold on that. So even though you were at disadvantage for not seeing, you were at advantage because it was grappled. So we just go straight up.
Okay.
So
Just
what was
roll
your
again.
first roll? What was your
They all at the
first roll?
same time.
Oh, okay. So yeah, roll again.
So generous.
And that is an 11.
11. That will hit.
Shut up, no way. Awesome. Okay.
Level 2.
So
Easy comments.
I stab it for 7 points of damage.
Nice. Your blade sinks into it, and it fights back as you pull it out. And then Timbers, what did you roll?
11.
11. That hits.
Sweet.
Nice.
You are raging.
So they will take.
Well, it's not you don't use the bardic for damage. You use it for attacks and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, so
They'll take 5 points.
5 points.
and you have 2 because you're rich.
Oh, sorry, 6, 7.
7.
Thanks.
Okay, so yeah, you give it a good stab, and it's not in great shape. There's just ichor pouring out of several cuts. It tries to get out of your grasp, and fails. Just doesn't have the strength anymore. You're just clutching it. Your fingernails are sinking into its leathery skin. And your crew, they're next. Basically they've kind of backed up. You can't see it, but they're backing back to each other. They don't have any weapons, so they're just like.
Here's your menu.
Here's kind of yells
I
out.
think you don't have any weapons.
So grab with punch goes and trees.
So we're gonna switch that to
Yeah.
hand damage.
Oh my
All
gosh.
right. Okay. Back
Slap
at the top of the third round. Fat Gill, you are wrapped up. What do you do?
Can I just try and?
Yeah. Pull it off. So you grab it.
Yep. Do I have to hit?
You have to strength check.
Strength check. Oh shit.
Oh.
So you grab it, and your hand just goes.
Slippery suckers. Slippery suckers.
And all they can hear is you just slapping at it. Pierce.
Pierce yells out, I'm going to get some lights. He pulls out a candle and tinderbox. Lights a light.
Okay, so you can see like within 5 feet, so anybody that's in contact with you.
Yeah.
So, and since
I mean, you get dim light for 10, right? So
With a candle.
in darkness,
we get
Fairy
5
fire.
regular and dim for 10. Is that right? Makes sense.
I'm not a candle man.
We usually have torches, but it's a city. Who carries torches? No one carries
no,
torches.
it's 5 feet in dim light, so you're not going to see, and you can't see anything beyond like
It's just that
arm's
dim,
length.
okay.
It's just basically
Okay.
very.
Matt, what did it taste like?
Yeah.
Fishy.
Are you going to
tasted
continue eating
a little, you know, it kind of tastes a little bit like mushroomy.
Oh,
kinda.
good. Okay.
Okay, so Pierce, you've lit a candle. The one that's in Temperance's hand is going to try and get out again. Fails, and the one that is squeezing Fat Gill
I need some help.
squeezes you for 6 more points of
Oh, crap.
constricting.
Wait, how much more did you
bludgeoning
say?
damage.
6 more.
Oh. I would be out.
We can see him struggling and thrashing.
You can
at
see
the edge
right
of
on the edge of
something,
light.
right?
You can hear, you can hear, and you can see these bright feathers just floating in and out of the light. Pieces of gold and copper baubles are dangling and jangling together.
Oh, I'm like a
Temperance, what do you
giant
do?
wind chime.
I want to hold again.
Okay, all right.
You're all.
So roll to hit with advantage.
That would be 25.
Oh, that'll hit.
And then is it a diet? Does it?
You're just punching. That's
Yeah, just punching as a barbarian, so it's giving you advantage.
Nope.
No.
So it's just 1 plus your
there's 1 plus your strength.
and plus your raging damage.
Yeah.
So
I think it's like a
Plus
2.
this is amazing.
That's level 1.
You don't roll a dice.
Or level 2.
It's
So
one.
And you
it's
get
six.
7 hit points.
7 hit points.
7. Yeah, you
Just
just
punch it for 7 hit points of damage.
Wait, really? She just punched her
Yeah.
7 damage?
That's her
Dang.
dance or punch damage.
Dang.
That's right.
Dang.
so you just
Broke his nose.
your hand just goes out the other side of it. You're like
Oh.
wearing it like a floaty. Right?
black mushrooms, don't it?
Now eyes pop out.
Oh,
It's-
nice.
Okay,
It's still alive though.
it's dead.
Oh, it's
Totally.
dead.
Oh, no.
I'm
You
like-
punched through it, but it's alive.
It's alive, right? No, you totally killed it.
Okay. Was I scared when we were attacked by the Dark Mantles? Of course not. I was irritated. I didn't have my sword, or my daggers, or a bow and arrow that I could have stabbed it with an arrow. But I did have my fist, so I punched it. To death. Okay. Can I move
You're actually
next?
better punching than you are with any other weapon.
Yeah.
You should just be the
I should just be total.
Should've been
Can
a
I
monk.
move
It
on-
works.
Cassius.
Yeah, you can move, but
Oh.
you're in base contact with that
With
girl
that
because
girl,
he
I
was
am.
in front. He's on this side of you, then you, and then Pierce.
Pierce is in between us, isn't he?
I'm in back of you,
Oh, you're
Yeah.
behind me.
So
Oh, that's
you're
right. That's right. That's
right next to that.
Okay.
So you can
So you can.
Okay,
You,
so I'm
you
already
detect
there.
his thrashing or
yeah,
whatever.
you can detect his thrashing.
Yeah.
You can't really see him because the candle's behind.
Okay. But I
So,
can hold
okay.
it till-
Yep. All right. So going around to your Amazons, they're all just. What's going on?
As they
We want to kill something.
Classic game. Just classic.
Lots of cursing back there.
What
do you do?
Well,
What are you thinking?
second
Try
time's
it
a
again?
charm. I'm gonna
Okay.
try and pull this thing off my head. 5.
5. Even you're just so weakened by the fact that this thing's cut off your oxygen.
Yeah.
It's crushing your head. You're just like.
Empress is his hood.
Can't do it.
Fat.
Pierce. What
So
do you
I can tell that the thrashing, you hear the jingling, I hear the wind chime like a hurricane.
do?
So I step forward,
Okay.
see if I can get kind of just to the side of Temperance to get the candle up there.
Uh-huh.
And if I can see it,
You can see it.
okay, I'm gonna stab really high. Okay, and not hard, just like just gonna go. Like I'm gonna put my dagger to base contact with it, try and kind of slash
Okay.
it.
Roll it.
Disadvantage or just regular?
Roll true, my friend.
Just regular.
Okay. That is a 11.
That hits.
That'll do it.
The 11 hits.
Here we go.
Okay, damn
I
on.
can't hit the thing and it's attached to my forehead.
is 7 points of damage.
Nice. So you just get it in there and just kind of carve to one side or the other, and it just flashes. It's just.
And I also yell out, it's my last one. Akil, I don't know if you could hear me, but this is your last chance to live. Inspiration die.
What you hear is.
Do I got any money to give?
But you feel really good
This
about
is
it.
not the time for taking charity.
Temperance.
I want to grapple the fat gills off of this.
Okay.
So that's what I'm gonna do.
Grab it.
Like earmuffs.
And 17, 18.
Just to pull it off, right?
Yep.
It's like your guys' highest hit roll so far.
Yeah, right. Just, and you can see. So, yeah, you can see Temperance standing in front of you, holding this thing above your head. The tentacles are just kind of grabbing at your snout. Top of the turn, Thakil, what do you do?
I'm gonna bite it.
Put your head back up in there. Get back down here.
Not so fast. Not so fast.
Oh my
It's
god.
an advantage because you have.
That's right.
You can
Thank
see
you.
this much
And
more
he's
than this.
grappled.
And remember the
There
bardic
we go.
inspiration.
Hit. Can I use that for damage?
Only
No.
for attacks.
Okay, I'll do it anyway because why not? That's a 14 hit. Why not?
That's
I'm
a
gonna
fat
bite
gill
this
move
thing.
right there.
3.
3? Okay. So this time you pull away with a chunk of its flesh in your mouth. It's kind of, yeah, it is. It's kind of mushroomy tasting, but it's not. But it's all muscle. So it's
Got a tentacle
Fiber.
still
Like
slurping
danger.
down.
gonna Pierce.
Pierce, I'm there with the candle. I can see it. It's in his hand. I'm gonna stab it.
Yep.
Okay.
Actually, it's in Temperance's hand.
Oh, it's Temperance. I can see it and stab it.
My mouth or hand.
9.
9 misses. Okay, so it tries to get away. And what's your strength?
16.
16. So it does. It actually, it just thrashes out of your hands and it slips down, hits the floor, and then tries to get away. It moves like 5 feet into the dark. It's like pass into the darkness.
Attack of opportunity.
It hasn't broken contact with you.
Oh.
I don't
But
take
for
more
you,
than 5 feet.
it would be an attack of opportunity.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm gonna take it. Okay.
That's so cute. Let it go.
Yes, that is a 21.
That'll hit.
Okay. And I don't have any maneuvers on my weapons, do I?
Not yet.
That is 5 points of damage.
5. You get an attack of opportunity too.
I'm gonna punch you.
Axe kick.
People's elbow.
Superman punch. Superwoman punch. Not at advantage because you're not holding it anymore.
17.
17 will hit. So you just bring
7
your.
points.
Nice.
Bam.
Oh yeah, just right down on top of it. And you just see it just sort of spreads out of the body. The tentacles.
Ooh.
Oh, excellent.
I think we could make it.
And the dark, the darkness goes away.
Okay, that's good.
Still dark, but
Now I can see all
magical
my
darkness
injuries.
goes away.
Does the fairy fire take over
Let's
then?
get all these red.
Yeah, the
suction cup
fairy
marks
fire
on your face.
lights up.
So now we're all
We're
fairy
engulfed in
fired.
fairy
So we're fairy fired now.
Yeah,
What's that?
the fairy fire now is visible
Oh, okay.
to everybody.
Great. Everybody can see everything.
So, and you can see your 3 Amazon crew. Remember, they're all back to back, just hands out, ready. And then the darkness goes away, and they rush over to see you. It's like,
We were in their way.
We were on our way.
Yeah.
We got Pierce out.
Yeah, Temperance.
Everything's
Captain, are you okay?
We're good. We're good.
Is everybody okay? Anybody hurt? Other than
Yeah. Well, you're probably not hurt. You're never hurt. You were never hurt ever.
me? You look mad. Enraged, I'd say. Little things popping out of your forehead. I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on myself. Because
All right.
I'm really
That's
close to death. Oh, sweet. That would be 12 points back. So
Nice.
Dude, that's like almost all the damage
that
you
is
took.
almost all of them.
Nice.
It's like all of my.
All right.
Uh,
So back to the surface. So as you
boy.
kind of collect your wits and kind of get a sense of who's hurt, and who's not.
All right. Tell me. Okay, so I've met with the Copper King before.
Met him a number of
Okay.
times.
What does he look like? Like, what is he? And where does he? Like, what is the monastery like? Times I've been in and out. What does it look like?
So he is a half orc. Very. He's kind of doughy though. He's very pot bellied. Unlike other orcs that kind of have more of like a piggish face, his is a little bit more like a weaselly kind of a feral kind of face.
Gross.
He has a penchant for eating raw fish, like raw small fish, while he's entertaining people at his court.
That's weird.
Not for that.
Sushi. Oh yeah, right.
I don't see the problem.
So the monastery where he holds court used to be for a group of monks that served one of the elven gods, Omi-Okami. But it's been abandoned for probably 50 years. The roof, if you look at it, it's a single story. Where the roof kind of arches up to a very tall spire in the middle. Most of the slate shingles are gone. It is on the northern edge of the temple district on the...
Oh, sorry, I was looking for my map.
No,
Just thinking of where the temple district was. It's okay. Oh, those would be mine, the ones that I folded. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, it's on the northern edge of Temple Crest.
Okay.
It's most people don't go there unless they go there to see the Copper King. So you don't have, it's
Most people
basically
don't go to
give
the
it a
monastery?
wide berth. They give it a wide berth.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
The monastery itself is circular as well, with chambers built around this large central room where they would worship. However, the floor of that room has long since collapsed away. So you have this large open pit in the center of the chamber that on your previous visits you have heard the ocean surf pounding away down there.
Interesting. Okay.
They call
so
that...
it's like just like you can't see the bottom.
Yeah. Well, you can see. It's probably about 60, 70 feet down, but you can, on occasion, you can catch a glint of light. If you've held lanterns over it before, you can see light reflecting off of water down there.
Ooh. Oh.
So the Copper King
has
has
to go in
built,
for a swim.
He's built this very ramshackle kind of a trellis above it of interlocking planks and timbers and things that he's managed together to build up to where he sits on this throne over the opening. So he's about 15 feet above it on this old massive chair that he must have found somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But this collection of timbers is all kind of, it somehow manages to hold together.
Huh, okay.
And he speaks to people from his perch, and everybody kind of stands down on the
Would
the
I
stone
know
floor.
if there's a good place that Jolvis could get like a good vantage point from the outside? Or
Oh yeah, there's plenty of
but it's
like
kind of it's kinda later in
other
the day.
smaller temples and apartment complexes and manor houses around it. There's also restaurants. And
What about
it's-
on the monastery itself? Like
on the
getting
monastery
up
itself?
to the top.
You know that he has a lot of his goons inside the
That's kinda what I
monastery, and many of them watching the street. So Jolvis could certainly try
All right.
to find a vantage point.
Well, about how far from it are we? And then
You are not that far away because the offices you just left were also
In the Temple District.
Temple District.
Jolvis, well,
Yep.
oh, your voice got so deep. It's always been that way, of
I'm a
course.
growing boy.
So, yeah, well, I'll leave this up to you. If you don't want to come, that's totally fine, and I will understand, because it is probably not a, like, how you say, fun meeting that we're about to have. So what would you like to do?
I mean, I'll come with you.
You're my ride or die. I love that about you, Jolvis. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we will make our way to the Beggar's King Monastery.
Okay. So it's not
And I
that
will start
difficult.
sweating. on my
You've
way.
made this journey several times before. You know how to get there. The abandoned monastery is part of a larger complex of buildings. Some of them there's actually a couple of buildings that are attached to it. One, but they're not abandoned. One is used as a warehouse. The other is used as a restaurant with apartments above it. The main entrance to the monastery is a set of old wooden doors with metal studs all on the outside. One of them is open.
All right.
And you can see lining the front of the building are probably 30 beggars.
All right. Before we walk in, Disco will just take his hands, kind of rub them together really quickly, and then give a quick clap while he does like a little dance move. And for a flash, like this suit of angelic-looking armor kind of appears over him, but it's just made of light, like white light. A lot of like wings incorporated into the design, and then it disappears. So I just cast mage armor on myself. So that'll last for 8 hours.
Nice.
So, just like a precaution. I'm sure it's going to be fine. But, all right. We will approach. Excuse me. Hello. Yes, pardon me. The Beggar King has requested our presence. Excuse me. I'll push my way through the crowd.
A couple of them like
VIP coming through. Thank you.
I wish you
Like
could
we're
be
at a club.
inside. This
I'll
is
just
going to
shake
be
my
good.
head.
I wish we could be in there with him. Maybe we sneak in. I think we sneak in.
Yeah.
They just like.
Is it getting hot to hear this club is so crazy?
As you go in in through the main entrance, there's a flight of stairs that go down. There are little oil lamps along the way that are giving out meager amounts of light that allow you to see what's inside. And this place has truly, it has not aged very well. The walls are crumbling and buckling. The ceiling has sagged in. You can hear birds just fluttering about up above. You walk through the main area. There are chambers to the left and right, but it's a straight shot into the central chamber of the monastery. And as you get there, the cool air that is very moist and heavy with salt just catches you as you enter into the room, and you can hear the roar of the ocean as waves are slamming into that space at the bottom of what they call the mouth of Enlil. In the shadows around in the shadows around the edge of the room, you can catch at least 6 beggars that are not trying to hide, and you've had enough interaction with him to know that there's probably at least another 6 that are hiding. You just can't see them.
Okay.
So, at his perch above the mouth of Enlil, you can see the Copper King. He's leaned back. There is there's another beggar kind of sitting next to him, holding a bowl on his head, which he just kind of reaches out and grabs this fish, and you can just see a trail of slime from it.
Oh, gross. Do I know the Copper King's real name?
Yeah.
Or have I not heard it?
And I'm not there.
Can you score me a dangle?
No, he actually just goes by the Copper King. You have not.
Oh, hello, Copper King. Hello. Yes. Hello. Hi. How are you today?
Disco, it is good to see you.
Always a pleasure. You
Yes.
look, how they say, radiating. Very good.
Thank you. I have been eating very well.
It looks like it. This is my friend, Jorvis. He is an acquaintance of mine, a very good guy.
Acquaintance.
My ride or die is what we've started to use a funded term. But yeah, I just thought I'd bring him along. I didn't think this seemed like a casual kind of meeting that you've called. I didn't think it would be too big a deal.
Well, it's perfectly all right. Don't worry. And he leans down to the beggar that he. Do we know a Jolvest? Do we? And the beggar kind of puts the bowl down on a little plate.
Social security number 5.
It's like,
They do that every time I come here. It's never been.
okay. Look at that. That's good. Okay. Yeah. So, let's not waste time.
Of course.
Because who knows how much time we have, right?
Right, yes.
So, the elves are at the gates. And they may make it in the city, they may not.
Fingers crossed. Haha.
But one thing. You owe me money.
Well, yeah, that I recall, but remind me the time frame. It's escaped my memory. I'm sure that it was not that long ago that we made this arrangement, so you're probably just pushing me for the money. But just remind me, just refresh me, if you will.
When he reaches his hand out and the bolt comes back up. So, 6 months ago, you come to me and you say, you need more money. And I say, of course, you are my good friend. I will help you. But you owe me money at that time, too.
Oh, did I?
But-
oh,
yeah.
that's... Oops. Ha. Silly.
Oops
Well-
is right.
Well, oops.
How much?
How much... To be honest, I don't know. How much? Just again, just so I can get it in the books. My accountant is just terrible. How much?
5,000.
Right, that's what I thought. That is less than I expect. Was that before or after our last meeting?
That was after the last
Okay,
meeting.
well that's good.
So how are you going to pay me, Disco?
Well, believe it or not, but in fact, Jorvis can vouch for me on this one. We have it under my own authority, I guess. Nobody else's. Under my authority, that we are taking a fabulously wealthy individual, very up and up, who's who kind of deal here. They have more gold than you could ever want, and we are escorting them to a very dangerous place. And in exchange, they're going to pay us fabulously, so much gold, more than these 5,000. And when we get them there, guess where I'm going next? On my very fancy boat, right back here, to give you all that gold.
Do a persuasion check.
Yes, you got it. We are fucked. We're so
I'm just
fucked.
gonna. What he said.
No. Do a deception check. Excuse me. Deception.
He might actually believe it.
I might believe it.
Okay. 15. 15. I can't say much more than that because of how famous they are.
It's a nice story, Disco.
Yeah.
But give me some details so I know it's true.
Well, okay. More details, you say?
Who is this person?
Well, that's the thing. I have not even gotten their name. That's how famous they are. A bit of a paradox there, I know. But it's like if you had, you were trying to keep someone safe, you wouldn't just go around telling their name to everybody when they were moving. When they show up to the club, you'd be like, oh, there he is. This mysterious figure. Hoo-hoo. But then when they're wanting to get them home, back to their residence, it's like, don't go around announcing my names. They're going to hear, and then they're going to come to me. Jorvis, right?
Right. Yep. Definitely.
Thank you, Jorvis.
You're welcome, Disco.
So I don't know their name, but I can tell you this. This individual is associated or has had dealings with Zolkar. You know Zolkar, right? I'm sure he's helped a lot of your people out.
I know Zolga.
That's okay. In a good way or like
I know Zolga.
That sounds like a good way. So yeah, they are associates with Zolkar. So you know that they're legit. They own. Get this! I just remembered this. Crazy. They own one of the biggest fishing operations in what is kind of a distant part of the world that he might not be super familiar with.
England.
Out of Denville, yeah, so much fish. More that's the types of fish that you would. My mouth's watering just thinking about all the raw fish that they bring.
You tell me again, how are you going to get your famous friend that you can't tell me who they are?
I would if I could.
Tell me again how you're going to do a rescue for him. What are you going to do?
Well, okay. So they're needing to get out of the city because guess what? There are elves outside. And how many elves did you say there were?
A lot.
A lot. A lot of elves outside. And so these individuals are like, hey, I have a big, super cool, super wealthy, fabulously rich fishing operation in Denville. I can't be stuck here for who knows how long. I need to get there so I can roll in all of my gold and fish. And so we said, well, guess what? We have a really nice boat and we will get you there. And then you will give us lots of gold and fish. And it just so happens that you love both of those things. Crazy, right? Isn't it a crazy? Things are crazy. We've been talking about this with everybody. So crazy.
Things are always crazy around you, Disco.
Well,
things are never normal around
No,
you.
but-
There's always something crazy.
One of my better characteristics.
So you
I'd
have
say.
you have sheep?
Well, I mean, it's like not.
Thank you, Jolvis.
You're welcome.
What did you do?
Yes, we do have a ship. I
Yes.
nodded my head
Oh,
because
thanks, you
we
Jonas.
do have
Thank
a
you.
ship.
Yes, but like, here's the thing. It's not like big. It's not like, hey, everybody in the city, we're gonna get you out of here. Like, don't go getting any crazy ideas here, okay? Because it's not that big a boat.
Disco.
Oh.
Don't,
Yes.
Don't think for me.
No.
Your
would
brain
never.
is too small to think for me.
Oh.
To assume that I want to ride a ship to get out of here.
No, of course not. This is your kingdom.
This is best time to be Copper King.
Oh, that's true. There are a lot of poor, unfortunate refugees that I'm sure you
Yes,
are
there
being very
are.
kind and respectful. Yes, I understand.
They need someone to take care of them.
Righto.
So, the ship.
Yes.
How do I know you don't just take your famous friend, get on ship, leave me high and dry? You owe me money.
I will, of course I do. And the reason we are going to come back is because Jorvis here has some business of his own that he needs to attend to in the city. So it's not like we're going to just leave and then not come back for that. That would be crazy.
That would be crazy.
Right? What
Yes,
business do
well,
you have here, Jorvis?
I have a lot of obligations with my guild.
Yep.
That I have to come back for. And it would be a very bad situation for myself if I were to not return
What-
as well.
That sounds serious.
It
Then-
is.
Sounds like she was
Quite
intentionally vague.
serious.
Might not want to
He-
push her. Damn it! Sounds like you might not want to push him on the details.
The beggar puts the bowl down, gets up, and again, after Jolvis has said this, and
Oh, yeah. I'm sure you do, Jolvis. Have many things to do. But still, you could flee on boat, even with no money, and then I have
Right.
to do something about that.
Well, what do you propose? Because of course my word is worth immense amounts. I take my word very seriously, and I'm going to pay you back all 5,000 gold piece. But as you say, yes, I could just skip town. Of course, I would not do that. Don't worry. Don't be a silly goose. But how do you want to ensure that I don't do that? Do you have any ideas floating around in that big brain of yours?
You have your friend Jolvis
Mm-hmm.
provide me with some of his guild's goods.
Jorvis, how does that sound to you?
That
You
sounds
get me.
great.
Oh, perfect.
3,000 gold of your guild's goods as down payment.
Ride or die, Jorvis. Ride or
Then-
die.
I'm gonna fucking kill you, Disco. I'll see what I can do.
No, you do more than see what you can do. You
I
do.
will. I will do.
You do.
I will do.
We will do.
Yes, sir.
We will.
You have 24 hours. Disco,
Yes.
Disco,
Copper King.
listen to me. Look me in the eye. You know.
I know it's hard because my eyes are solid black, but I am looking right at you.
In 24 hours. You don't bring me Jolvis's
3,000.
goods. Jolvis goes down the hole. Never come back. Jolvis shark meat. You never see Jolvis again. 24 hours. You know I make good on that. No, you cannot hide. 24 hours.
You?
Or you give me the 5,000
well.
in 24 hours and everything is good.
I know I left it somewhere. We will see you in less than 24 hours.
Good.
Good. Yes. Right. We will see ourselves out. Okay, bye.
It was a pleasure.
Most definitely.
Once we get out of earshot. That went really well. I feel like we've just been on a roll today. Everything's just gone our way.
You think?
Well, of course, we're going to get Pierce out of here. We have a boat. This guy, the Copper King, is going to give us 24 hours to...
Before I become shark meat?
Elvis, we're going to be out of here long before then. and then we'll go out and find some.
But now he knows
fabulous-
my name. God.
Well, we didn't give him your last name. And I'm part of a guild. I'm part of a guild. Do you know how many guilds are in this city, Jorvis? That was so brilliantly vague. Brilliant. It was so smart. How is he going to know? He doesn't know.
He
Is
knew.
anybody around? So smart. The Copper King's
Yeah, with the
so
bowls
smart and
like standing
handsome.
there.
There's 2 eyes looking out of the wall. Oh, hi.
The newspaper out to us.
Yeah. Every beggar you walk past is like,
No, I'm sorry. Well, how much gold do I have? Not much. I will spare 3 gold and just kind of drop them in random ones as we go. And I'll look at Jorvis. These people need your help. Come on. I know.
I'll just hand you
That's
5 of my
Ah!
gold.
Don't hand out another
Pulling
5
his
gold
gold
to some
out.
people. How do I plan to make it up to Jorvis? For him, how you say, falling on his sword for me with the whole Copper King thing. Well, I'm thinking that I will buy him like a very nice, cool grappling hook. Because when we were trying to sneak out of that manor house yesterday morning when we got caught in bed, well, he did not have a grappling hook, which I found very odd because he's in a thieves guild. What kind of thief does not have a grappling hook? So I will buy him a very nice one. And then I'm also thinking that I will take him on, like, how you say, a bro date to this very cool, adorable little warm coffee shop called Little Beans. It's run by my favorite people, well, my favorite gnomes in all of Dragosony, Mr. and Mrs. Schfinkel. They are so cute, so adorable. I think that Jorvis will really, really appreciate the gestures that I make with that.
all right, back to the tunnels. So
All right.
you have kind of collected yourself after the attack. The fairy fire lasts for how long?
The fairy fire lasts.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh no, it's right.
1 minute. Okay, so by now it's
We have a candle.
Yeah, you have a
Just
candle.
kind of see where we're stepping. I guess you have dark vision in front of us. So.
Let's
Yep.
look
You
at
exactly,
Yeah, of course.
as we
Yeah,
go.
it's an excellent suggestion.
Parasol would be a good idea.
all right. So you continue down the passage.
Looking for a barrel.
Very difficult to keep track of time, probably another 20, 25 minutes. You know that the passage begins to kind of work its way back up a little bit, kind of a slight incline.
Looks like we
And-
might be going up.
Another 10 minutes of walking, and you can all see light up ahead.
Any barrels along the way with our stuff in it? There's
No,
supposed to be
not in the
barrels.
tunnel.
I
Not in
think
the
at the
tunnel.
end, I think the barrels will
Okay.
They'll be there.
Not good at the listening part.
Excellent with the leading parts.
That's right.
Fantastic. All right.
So
keep
you
going.
you approach, and very clearly this is the exit to the tunnel. You can see the metal grate in front of you. It's still light outside. There's vines and shrubs that have kind of fallen down over probably the top half of it, kind of obscuring it. And you can hear coming, kind of filtering in through the tunnel. You can hear children playing.
I suggest that one of you go first.
That's
Hi,
very good
children.
suggestion.
Where are y'all running?
Just step forward and just kind of look through the gate and listen. Can I kind of determine is it a playground? Is it a school? What is it exactly?
So looking through, you can see that it looks like it's an abandoned lot of some sort. There's the remnants of some sort of wooden structure. You can see the rock foundation of it. That's about 30, 40 feet beyond in front of you. You can see beyond that a street, and then buildings that you recognize. You're close to the river. If you in fact pass those buildings is the river itself. This is kind of a really poor part of the city. And as you're looking at, you can see kids just running back and forth in front of you. They're clearly peasant kids. Their clothing is mismatched, odd sized. Most of them don't have shoes, and they're playing like a version of tag.
Okay.
Where when they tag each other, it's more like they're stabbing each other, and then the person
tag
falls
you
down and
with a
shakes
sharp
and then
stick
hops
in
up
the
and
eye.
then goes up to stab everybody.
All right, cool. I come back. Everybody can see because of the ambient light, I assume, at this point.
Yep.
So I say, all right, good news. Just a bit of an abandoned part of town. There's some children, some urchins playing. I'll step forward and let them know we're going to be coming out, and it should be just fine. So I'll open the gates.
Okay.
If it's open.
It's
Okay.
you see, it just screams out as you try to.
I do it
open
fast, like you do with a door when you're trying to.
Some leaves fall down. Okay.
And I'll just step out, and did any of them notice me, or they even notice?
Oh yeah, as soon as you step out, you've got to kind of push your way past the bushes.
Okay.
And that, but they've all stopped, and they're just like,
Okay.
one of them is like,
it's all right, kids. It's all right. Hey,
Keep
have you ever
stabbing.
heard pirate songs? Try and get them around.
pirate song. I love pirate songs.
You love pirate songs?
Yeah. They actually all just got to come running over.
Come around. And I kind of move away from the gate as I kind of rummage through my pack, right?
Okay.
And say, well, you're in luck. I just happen to be coming this way. My name's Pierce. I'm a bard of the city, and I pull out my squeeze box, a pirate instrument.
I was like, that doesn't look like a cutlass. That's not a pirate instrument.
Well, we have those too, but this is really what pirates do most of the time. They just play these songs. And I'll pull up the squeeze box and I'll start to play some pirate songs. And I'll lead them far away from the gate.
Do a persuasion check.
Okay.
Or no, performance. Do performance.
Performance check? Okay.
Yeah, do performance.
Not very well.
You're a little rusty with this.
Yeah, I haven't played this in a while. 12.
12? That's good enough. I mean, these are little kids and that. Although the ones that said you don't have a cutlass, it's like, he's not a real pirate.
But I actually
He's
do
not
have
a pirate.
cutlasses on, so I just don't pull them out for us.
Oh, yeah. He's not a pirate. I've seen pirates. He's not a pirate. Look at his head's all covered with muck and stuff like that. He's not a pirate. Okay, but you lead them all
I'll
the way.
lead them all the way, and I lead them, and then as I kind of round
lemons.
where just so I can see that, I just gonna, and we'll be over here.
So as we look out,
Mm-hmm.
is there shrubbery? What's around? What do we see? I guess?
So you're on kind of like it's like the foundation of like a retaining wall, probably about a 10-foot high wall that's running left and right. And yes, you can see off to the right about 15 feet away are just a trio of barrels. 2 of them are heavily overgrown with weeds and that. The other one looks like the weeds have been torn away.
Okay, we'll head straight over there.
Okay.
I'll
Looking
follow
for
you,
some
Campy.
weapons.
Right. So you get to the barrels?
Yeah, get to the barrels.
Yeah.
Loading.
You pop them open. Yeah, there's
She's
a
hot.
inside are a couple of heavy burlap sacks, but you can tell by the shape of them it's got your stuff.
Okay, we'll just take the sacks out as opposed to loading us all up right now. But we'll just take them.
Okay.
Like this.
All right. The kids are all essentially enthralled.
Okay.
They're all just dancing around you, and now the game of tag is they're all, instead of doing this, they're all like slashing.
They're all pirates.
They're all pirates.
Oh yeah, I'll get them into it. I'll tell them pirate stories about when we were on the high seas with Captain Steele and the Trident. Have you ever heard of the Trident? I tell them all about the boat, and I was a cabin boy on such a boat, and I'll tell you all about that.
Yeah, he looks like a cabin boy, doesn't he? Doesn't look like you're a pirate. You thought, it's a cabin boy. That's what you were.
So I was absolutely.
Think of on, cabin boy.
You know, I do have that cutlass. I
Think of on, pirate boy.
and I go on with that for a length of time, probably like 5 minutes or so.
Okay.
And then I say, all right, well, I have to go. I have plenty of things to do in the city before I have to pick a favorite child to represent the city. So who's it going to be in this group? I have various groups around the city. I'm trying to pick.
They all just start clamoring. They're like at your feet, just fighting. Pick me. And some of them are starting to cry. It's because their hair is being pulled.
Right. Your gold's gone. By the way.
Yeah. Starting to pull hair and purses and pouches. So, and I'll pick the one who looks, probably just the toughest kid, right?
It's the one that was just.
Yeah. I'll say, what's your name?
My name is Machlech. Yeah, my name is Machlech.
All right. Well, I love it. I love
Machlech.
Machlech? That's a fantastic name. Where did that come from? You probably don't know. You're a child.
It
But
came
listen,
from my mom and dad.
of course it did. Of course it did. So, well, listen, you're the chosen one from this group. So you're in charge.
He grabs the kid by the. I'm the chosen one. You hear that? I'm the chosen one. Machlech. Chosen. Go
You're in charge of keeping them
Right.
safe
I'm in charge.
if something happens in the city.
Something
It's a very
happens.
serious charge, Machlech.
I'm your guy.
All right.
I'm your guy.
Well, what you need to do then is get these
Destroy the
children
childhood of
away to safety, find a good hiding place away from here. If something happens, I want you all to remember, and I look to the rest of the kids, I want you all to remember where that hiding place is. Machlech is your leader now. He's the chosen one.
I'm the leader. I'm the chosen one. We're gonna go hide. Everybody, hide! He turns around. Follow me! And he starts heading towards the tunnel.
No,
Come on! Hide in here! Come on!
Machlech! I try to stop him. Does he stop?
Yeah, he'll stop.
Okay.
It's like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
From
I'm
those
out.
tunnels
I hope so.
could come prisoners, or worse, head that direction. Trust me.
There's a tunnel over there.
No. The tunnel. You do not want to go down the tunnel. Down the
All right,
tunnel.
okay. Let's go this way. They start running, and they go between the buildings.
Okay.
And head off towards the river.
Okay,
They all
they're all
just
gone.
scrambling behind him. A
That's
couple
just
little, the
gonna have to
littlest
say,
kids are looking back.
Well, howdy.
As we escaped the dark mantles and approached the bright light of day, we didn't know what we were going to see. What we did see was urchins. No, not sea urchins, just urchins, children. And the first words that came to my mind were, "Hey kids, you want to hear some pirate songs?" So I played some pirate songs in my squeeze box. And do you know what a squeeze box is? You know, squeeze box in and out. So the kids, the urchins liked the pirate songs, and it led them off. Sea urchins might like pirate songs. Haven't tried. I'll jog back to the group.
All teeth.
All right, I think we're good. The kids are gone, and everyone get their stuff.
Yes. Here. Bags.
Excellent, fantastic.
Are my bones in there? I'm gonna go
start to
through.
go through.
I've got.
Oh
to
yeah,
go through.
all your stuff.
All right.
All right.
So one of your crew says to you, Captain, now we're fugitives. And
Why? Yes.
can't be wandering around this city. We'll just get caught again. What are we to do?
Well, we'll need to head to the ship, to the shipyard.
we'll need to get disguises. I say to who is your shipmate? Captain
This is
Pepper's?
Lola.
Lola. Nice to meet you.
I like Lola.
Good old Lola.
I think I like Lola.
It is well met, Pierce.
Well met.
The captain has told us so many things about you.
Really?
And perhaps after we have a chance to get to safety and get a drink, we can get better acquainted.
I think that sounds like a fantastic idea.
By the way,
It's so long. All the excitement. We haven't really even. Well, plenty of time to talk. But first, we need to
where
disguise
are
you.
we?
Well, I
You
try
need
and
to
figure
say.
out where we are. Where are we? I've been here for a number of years.
Oh yeah, you are. I mean, as you had a chance to kind of catch if you look back towards that wall, which is to the north, you can see the castle off to the northeast. So you're pretty much you're about on the river, right in the heart of the city.
Okay.
You know, and this stretch through here is very poor.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot of disease, and a lot of poverty.
Whoa.
Whoa. I'll grab that.
I'm going to.
Our soundproofing. No!
Oh no!
I'm going to
Now
reach
the
out.
echoes are going to. I'm
I'm going to put my giant claws right on Pierce's shoulders. And I'm just going to look him deep in the eyes. I'm going to say, Pierce, Tampers has been my charge for a long time. You better treat her right. You better protect her.
I will.
Mushrooms. Tastes like mushroom.
Do we have any of that left, by the way?
I'll
We
back
could
up.
keep some of that for that guild if he's hungry. I mean, I've been noticing him eating
have to
strange
go
things
get it.
like guards' fingers.
Did you bring it?
Bring the
In the
mushroom.
Did you bring some as a
mushroom
snack?
creature.
No, it was more of a stuck between my teeth kind of a thing.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Are there any
Aftertaste.
domesticated creatures around that I've seen since we've walked down here at all? Cats,
Hello,
dogs, birds, rats.
That's alarming.
Do a perception check.
Snatch one up.
I just I'm thinking I need a disguise here at some point, and I might have a good one. I got a 5.
5.
Wait. I got a 11. Yes.
Not anywhere nearby.
Okay.
I mean, you can
I keep
see
looking.
like on the far end of it, you can see like a cat walk along them. But it's probably 80, 100 feet away.
Well, I don't want to eat it. I just want to study it. So,
So yeah, you watch how it
look
just
at
sort
that
of
cat.
goes along the wall and just very, just on the tips of its paws, just moving very smoothly through the rubble.
All right.
Gets down, crouches low.
Very good.
Okay.
Very good.
So I'm going to see if there's any houses nearby as we kind of march out of this barren area. Kind of move towards some of the poor areas where people live. I'm just going to see if there's any, villagers, anybody we can kind of talk to. Briefly.
So the where you're at, the field is pretty much like not just the field, but it's like half of what used to be the building that was there, and the facade of the building is all that's really left.
Mm-hmm.
So once you get between that alleyway, between that building, or even if you wanted to walk through like a doorway, you get out on the street, and just like every other street is just filled with people.
Okay.
Just lining the streets left and right.
So
trying to set up camp and that. In fact, as you are going this way, in a door that's further down, you can see some people actually coming in from the street with bundles that looks like they're going to start setting up a camp in there.
Okay. So I'll just find somebody who has one of these bundles and approach them and say, "Excuse me, can I bother you for a moment?"
Yeah.
My name's Pierce. I'm a bard from the city. Probably
I'm staying out of sight, by
heard
the
of
way.
me. Yeah.
There's this huge monster lizard.
Yeah, his name's
Hopefully you
Pierce.
guys are down the alleyway.
Tastes like mushroom.
Have you got a cat?
What do you taste like?
His wife immediately just gets behind him, and the kids come up, and he's.
It's all right. You mean no harm. We are trying to look after our own people as well. So, in fact, I might be able to help you if you could help me. And I'll pull out 2 gold pieces. All right? I say this might help you get food or whatever you might need to sustain yourself during the siege. However, we need to move quietly across town. And if I could exchange these 2 gold pieces for maybe 3
4, 5, 6.
3 dressing gowns or large just kind of things we can move inconspicuously through the city. You know what I mean.
I know what you mean. And then his wife kind of tugs on his sleeve and looks up at him. And you can see kind of behind his shoulder, you can see her hand is moving.
Yeah.
And he's like, "This is all we have. This is all 15. 15 gold."
We're gonna look around. We're gonna shop around.
Okay, I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna cast friends and say 15's a little steep. Perhaps we could settle on half. I would do 7.
He's like, "Oh," and it's. Is she like, "You give her away." 10 is good for a
I
friend.
think I'll do 10. 10 sounds fantastic. Yes, I want to help you as much as I need help from you. So I'll give them 10 gold.
Okay.
All right.
Gets the gold and
I need 3 gowns for the Amazons. Or no, 4, right? I need 4.
4.
I'll give her 12.
While this is going on, I'm going to just grab Temperance and say, "Don't be alarmed." And I'm going to take the shape of the cat that I've been observing as my disguise. This is going to be
And I
better
am
for
not.
both of us. Yeah.
are you
far
all
less
smarter,
scary.
or are you guys talking back?
I thought they were holding back.
Holding back. Okay.
Yeah, they're holding back in the alley where I
okay.
was having this
Yeah.
discussion.
I was out of sight,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But my disguise will be the cat.
You'll have an extra disguise.
Well, I had no 3 Amazons and her, right? It's
Yeah,
3
so
plus.
that's
yeah. And so, I
Okay.
say,
So he sets the bundle down, kind of opens it, and the wife kind of helps him shield what's in the bundle and pulls out 4 suits, 4 outfits, and then
What's your biggest fan?
and then they like immediately as soon as they hand you the bundles and the wife has tucked the coin away,
yeah.
they usher the kids and they head to the back of that. Start heading to the back of the field.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Good luck. I mean that.
Same to you.
Thank you. And I'll run back to the group, and I will
Hand
Say,
over.
where's that
mute
gil?
my phone.
Where's
and
that
I
gil?
will have you and the Amazons put these on. And where's that gil? Sorry.
This is the one.
Oh, the cat's named Fat Gil as well?
No, it's his disguise.
That's Fat Gil?
It's a great disguise.
That's a fantastic disguise. That's like the best disguise I've ever seen.
How did you do
I like
that?
no disguises.
What color are you? What kind of cat is it?
I wanted to make myself look exactly like that cat. I would be very
a calico.
literal in my
The calico.
Okay, well,
only bigger claws.
we're in better shape than I thought. I was thinking maybe a cart or hay, and I was going to have to. Okay, I love it. Fat Gil.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So if the Amazon, I'll make sure with my disguise proficiency that they look decent. I'll take off tiaras or whatever we need to do and make sure they look
You
like
pretty much have to like
kind of muss
yeah,
their hair.
The neck
muss their hair.
tattoos,
You
you'll
try to muss
hide
their hair,
that.
but then it gets perfect again. You have them. You tell them to stoop their shoulders, and they keep doing this. They stoop your shoulders. On the shoulders. Okay. No, stoop.
Shoulders go up above their ears.
But you after a few minutes, you manage to get them suitably at the top end of normal looking.
Okay. All right.
The best looking beggars ever.
Ever.
Well fed,
Like
ripped,
supermodel beggars.
super tall.
Beggars.
Spare some change, man.
I'll flex for a silver. So camera's desynced, so I'm gonna try and sync this camera.
Oh,
Okay.
So, yeah, so we'll just go.
So
we can jump over.
yeah, we'll jump over while we sync that camera. And so,
Right.
Disco and Jolvis, what are you doing?
So where are we?
You pretty much have left the Temple Crest. So you're off of you've gone out through the walls that isolate that part of the city, and you're now working your way, I assume, towards your home. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll take you a little while to get there. It's not a straight shot.
Jorvis, so this 3,000 gold that we need to get to the Copper King. What are you thinking with that? By the way, I'm so sorry about that. That is on me 100%. I owe you a lot. But thank you for
at
riding
least
and dying
3,000 gold. worth
Well,
of drugs.
yes, we will figure that out. But what is your thoughts with the guild? How are they going to deliver on this 3,000 gold?
I mean, I could go talk to them and see what they'd be willing to do for us.
What about your, as you like to call it, contraband?
Well, that's what he wanted, was 3,000 worth of
Oh, he did?
that.
Oh, yeah.
You were picking up on signals that I did not pick up on at all.
Yeah, they were just
Wow.
called words. But
Oh, well,
it's okay.
a lot of those go over my head quite often.
I'm aware of that.
Well, okay, yes. Then we'll... Okay, yes. And then...
Yeah.
We just want to give him 3,000 worth of the contraband. I feel like that's... But then we have to get it back for you.
Yeah.
So we need to figure out a timeline from your guild.
Yeah.
All right. So how does this sound for a plan? There are a few people in the cities that I would like to reach out to briefly before I assume we need to leave. While I'm doing that, you
I'll
can
go talk to my guild.
to your guild. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. The things that I'm gonna want to go do here.
Okay.
I want to. Where is Little Beans? That coffee shop. Okay.
It's J.
Oh, is it? Oh,
So
you're
it's-
right. Yep.
it's-
J.
It's up by the ring. It's
And
near
we're
your
not
apartment.
by there, huh? Oh, it is by my apartment?
Yeah,
Oh,
by
yeah,
your
yeah. I'm like right by there.
Well, yeah.
And where
But
is
you're not
the-
there yet. You are.
No, not
You're
right
kind of
there now.
northwest of the castle.
Where, okay. So classes at the university, the Wizard University, are probably out by now, right? Or do they kind of go?
They're classes are going.
Maybe a
24/7.
more specific question is, would I know... I probably actually wouldn't want to meet Claire in person. All right. Well, I will go home.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to just kind of summarize what I'm going to do so Jules can do her thing. I want to go home.
His thing.
God damn it.
I said session 3. It'll be session 3.
I'm going to write in all caps.
I'm gonna start
Him,
marking it here.
his.
Oh, that's your tally.
Okay.
That should be Jovis's tally. How many times he's called her?
Oh my
So I'm
god.
gonna-
That's your tally,
Yes.
totally.
I'm going to go home. I'm going to pack up just my stuff, get a few extra spare sets of clothes, my nicer clothes. I want to... Anything that I have purchased from Jolvis in the past,
Okay.
in terms of illicit materials, I'd like to get that.
Okay.
I will get my... oh, thanks. Thanks for that. Yes, him. Yes, I'll get it. And then anything... Yeah, pretty much just gather up my supplies,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna sit down, take a few minutes. I'm gonna write up a letter to Claire,
Okay.
and just let her know that I'm so sorry that things went the way that they did. That I was taking strides to move in the right direction, and that it seems that fate is taking me in a different direction at the moment. But that I will be thinking of her, and that I will do my best to get something sent to her if I can. I hope that she's going to be safe. I ask her to be safe, be very safe. And just kind of go
Okay.
a little along those lines of just, I'll be thinking of you. I'm very sorry. And I will slip. Nah,
Do you
I
need
don't
to
think
borrow-
she'd appreciate. I
Do
don't
you need
think
to
she'd.
borrow some gold?
No. No.
Yeah, like
She likes more personal gifts than that. I am.
Give
Ooh,
up.
okay, that's what I would have done. I would have thought on the way home, I would have tried to pick up just a flower, just a single
Okay.
flower. I'll just buy one from the stand,
Okay.
and then I would have just slipped that in the envelope with the letter, So that's for her.
Okay.
And then I would take that to the university where I would meet with my professor, Professor Julie Buchterbeer. I want to meet with her. Just let her know, I need you to get this to Claire, please.
Okay.
And then... Would I tell her? Yes, I trust her more than literally anybody. I would just inform her of what's going on and ask her for any advice. Once it's a little life-threatening journey we're about to go on. That's what I would do with the rest of my evening.
Okay.
Good luck, Jorvis.
Yeah, thanks. I'll need it.
So,
Him/his. I remember.
are you going to see your guild master?
Yes, I'm going to see Asma.
Okay, so Asma's her cover building is also up on the ring, which is where all the schools are. And
bye, Jorvis. Oh, you're going. All right. Well, I didn't have anything to talk about.
I will walk with you.
Well, I'm going this way, actually. Bye.
So, as you're coming up into the district together and about to head in different directions, you are approaching Little Bean's coffee shop, and you can see that as you approach, a wagon is coming out. A little cart is coming out from the space between the coffee shop and the building next to it. There are 3 individuals. One's driving the cart. It's being pulled by a donkey, and one walking next to it who's kind of checking both ways, and one sitting on the back. And in the back of the cart, you can see
Sorry,
large...
Are we both seeing this?
You both see this,
oh,
yeah,
okay.
because you're still together. You can see large sacks that are stacked up in it, and the cart comes out, goes onto the street, kind of picks up pace. And then as the cart goes in front, you can see the shopkeeper of Little Beans is standing out in front.
Mr. and Mrs. Finkel?
Mr. Svinkle.
Oh, just Mr. Finkel.
Mr. Svinkle is standing out in front. The gnome, you can just barely see him as people are, and he's just has a look on his face, and just his face is just pale white, and he's wringing his hands, kind of shaking his head, and then he turns and goes back into the coffee shop.
Well, another slight delay in my plans. Just such a crazy day, isn't it crazy?
So crazy.
Jorvis, you go meet with your contact.
Subtle.
Speaking in code.
Very subtle.
I need to go
Nice.
speak with someone.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to make my way into Little Beans and
Okay.
go up and find where Mr. Schwinkel is.
Okay, so inside Little Beans, it's one of your favorite places.
Right,
You go
I love
inside, and the aroma of coffee just fills the place, and there's a warmth to it that you know isn't just because of the fire that's burning in the hearth. It's just a place that people go.
That's amazing.
It's very comfortable. It's got a low ceiling. Anybody who's taller than like 5'5" has to kind of hunch over.
Which is
But
me.
the place is filled with just overstuffed furniture. There's one of the students from the Bard College is in the corner playing a mandolin, just kind of quiet and kind
I
of.
love this place. It's so nice.
And Mr. Svinko has gone back to the counter where the coffee is made, and Mrs. Svinkel is there. And as he approaches, he just takes her in his arms and kind of pulls her close, and then pushes her back, and you hear him say, "It'll be okay. Everything will be okay."
I'll walk up
And
to
then
the counter.
Mrs. Finkel sees you and says, "Disco!"
Hello, Mrs. Finkel. And hello, Mr. Swinkle. How are you two? Mr. Swinkle, you looked upset about something, so I had to come and see what was wrong with my 2 favorite gnomes in the whole city. Oh, also, I would love a croissant. And I'll put a gold down. That would be great.
Ouch.
"You know your gold is no good here.
Oh.
Disco, take the
Well-
gold. We'll give you a croissant."
Given the current circumstances, I won't push you on that one. All right.
So Mrs. Finkel gives you a hug and then goes behind the counter and begins to make your favorite coffee. And Mr. Finkel says, "But what are you talking about? Everything is fine."
Mr. Swinkle, you don't have to... Is anybody around?
There's students that are all kind of over on the other side listening to the bar. No one's paying attention.
Mr. Swinkle, you don't have to lie to me. I've known you long enough to know when something is how you say up. And I have come to you with so many problems, too many problems. I'm sure it gets very annoying. I walk in, you're like, oh, there's that disco guy, there's that tiefling with all his problems, now we have to hear them. So I appreciate you listening to me. But I suggest, why don't we grab a seat? We can have a little coffee, have a little croissant. We can talk about what's going on. Yes?
His
Ah,
shoulders.
there it is. Yes, I knew there was something.
Okay, it's
Mrs. Finkel,
a good boy.
well, I do my best. I love you too. Is Mrs. Finkel, would she like to join us as well?
Somebody should watch the customer.
I suppose that's probably a good idea. All right.
It actually leads you down to the end of the counter and to a small door that leads into a little back office, kind of where their apartment is. And gets you back there and gestures to a seat and says, "This guy don't know what we're going to do. You know,
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
those men, they came and took our coffee."
Wait, whoa, hold on. Now I'm on a totally different page than you. I thought you were talking about how crazy it is that we're under siege. Who took your stuff?
Oh, the siege is bad enough, but no, they came from the Thieves Guild. They were so brazen. Before they would come and they would take a little money for protection. This isn't protection.
Right.
They took our coffee.
They took all your coffee.
They took coffee. And now,
They need to raise 3,000 gold for Jonas' mark.
Oh no. They did.
what are we gonna do?
Okay, well, okay. This is fine. This is okay. Mr. Swinkle, let's not lose our little gnome heads. Okay? You have been running this place for how long?
Almost 50 years.
50 years. I'm sure you've had tons of problems come up in the past before, right?
Not like this.
Well, okay, yes.
The guild used to protect us from this, and now they come and they steal from us.
Did they say why?
said-
Was there any explanation at all, or did they just say, hey, you give us your coffee? And you're like, you have to pay for that. And they said, no, and they took it.
No, they took it. They said that the coffee belonged to the guild now, and that times were going to be very difficult for people. And that
Well.
we would be doing our part by giving them the coffee. What can I do? If I fought them, they would have killed me.
Okay.
50 years. 50 years
50
we've had this
years.
shop. I don't know what I'm going to do.
It's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. Good news is, you make amazing croissants.
But today, coffee, tomorrow, all of our flour and our butter. And with the elves
Right.
outside,
Right.
Lord
Yes.
only knows
God.
when we'll get to...
Oh my
what are we going to do?
I don't. I'm not 100% sold, but I do know this. It's going to be okay. It's going to be just fine.
Is it going to be okay?
Because I have a-
elf armies outside, and now we're stealing from each other inside.
It's not ideal, no. But guess what? I have a contact in the Thieves Guild. I have a contact. I can't guarantee anything. I don't want to lie to you, Mr. Swinkle, because I love you both so much. You're very dear to me. You've always been like...
You know that.
Oh, thank you. Yes. I have a contact. At the very least, what I could do is figure out why they did this. Maybe. At the very least. And then... we'll go from there.
Okay. I trust you.
Mr. Swinkle, I really wish I could do more for you.
Yeah. Have another croissant.
No.
help us.
No. You're going to need those for other people.
The city guard, they're not even around. They've come in, they've rounded people up to serve on the wall. You know that, right?
What?
Yeah, they're grabbing people left and right, they're conscripting them into the army.
This is literally how you say chaos. Okay. Can I buy a croissant from you? That would make me feel a lot better. Can I just buy a croissant from you?
You can buy. Yes, you can buy.
Thank you. Okay. Here's a gold piece. There you go. I know that they don't cost a whole gold piece, but I feel like I want to give you a gold piece.
Give you
Oh, you little guy. Alright. Well, I'm very sorry, Mr. Swinkle. It is how I have been talking about this with everybody. It is crazy times right now.
It's crazy.
But I am going to do everything I can to help you and Mrs. Swinkle and everybody else in this city, because I think that is what I'm here to do. I don't know why, but I just have a feeling.
It's a good feeling. I hope you're
Me
right.
too.
I hope you're right.
Me too. No, I just have to get 5,000 rupees. Anyways,
What?
it's nothing. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. Okay, well, enjoy that gold piece. The croissant was delicious as always. It's my favorite. I love coming here for everything. I will give him a little on the forehead, tousle his hair, his little old man hair, and then make my way out to Mrs. Swinkle on the cheeks. Tousle her little old lady hair. Mrs. Swinkle, I'm so sorry to hear. But don't worry, I'm going to speak with your contact. And I'm sure that it's going to be okay.
Of course it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine. We're all going to be fine. It's just whenever we the chaos in the city, we're all going to be fine.
Oh, you've always been the stronger of the two. And Mrs. Finkel, I need you to make a promise for me.
Yes,
I need you to promise you will be strong for Mr. Finkel. He's going to need you right
of
now.
course.
Okay?
He's a good man.
He's an excellent man. One of the best gnomes I've ever met. But that's why he needs you. All right. Okay. Goodbye.
Be safe.
Of course. I don't think that we'll be going on that bro date anytime soon. Of course.
Be safe.
Jolvis! Run down the street and look and see where he is, but I'm sure he's long gone.
You've made it to your guild
Boy.
cover.
All right. Do I see a little cart with coffee beans rolling in?
No, so it's a flower shop. You know that that on the front, it's a small shop. There are a couple of half elves that work the shop, and your guild mistress is often in there because she's very fond of orchids, but more often than not, she's in the back, in the warehouse area.
Okay. I'll walk into the flower shop. Do I see? She's in the warehouse area, I'm assuming. She's not in the...
No, she's actually in the shop.
Oh, she is in the shop.
Mm-hmm.
It's Asna, right?
Yes.
Okay. I will approach her. Hello, Asna.
So Asna she's got her back to you. She's very tall, very thin.
Hello, Asna.
Hello, Jolvis. Good to see you today.
And
Crazy
you as well.
times I'm hearing, aren't they?
So I've heard. So how is everything? How's the guild?
Well,
How are you?
let's see. Oh, I'm glad you asked. I'm fine.
Oh, good. I figured.
So the city is surrounded.
Right. Yeah, I noticed.
The king is calling up all able-bodied men and women to fight.
Yeah.
Couldn't be better. If you're an elf, I suppose. No, things are very good. The guild's in good order.
Well, good.
What can I do for you?
That is
She
such a good
snips
question. How is our inventory? Is it safe and
Oh, the inventory is very good.
lovely? So you don't need anyone to take some out of the city just for, like, just in case. I know we have a good crew. Capable. I'm so bad at
Are you
this.
part of that number?
But I was wondering if we needed a backup plan, if you will.
And as she turns to look down towards you, the light from the skylights above catch the copper scales of her skin, and her tongue flicks out a couple of times.
Great.
And she just snips another leaf.
That goes turn on across the city.
He can smell the pheromones from here. Whoa. Wow.
I'm
damn.
blooded for a second.
What did you have in mind?
Well, it just so happens I have transportation out of the city. Limited capacity,
It's fine when I have such.
by the way. But I was just thinking.
have a boat.
He's got a boat.
Sorry.
I have access to a boat.
As far as everyone knows, there's like 7 boats.
I have a small fleet. No, but you see our situation is rather, complicated.
Yes, it is.
So, I'm trustworthy. I just was wondering if I could help you and the guild by escorting some inventory out of harm's way.
I do know you, Dolvis. I've never known you to be so accommodating to the needs of the guild.
I'm just trying to do my part. Hard times.
So, not the meta notwithstanding, she says, so, how do you propose to get all merchandise out of the city? You're going to go out through the front gate? Perhaps you're going to try to climb over the top? You're going to swim? How are you going to get my product out of the city to a safer place?
You know I'm quite skilled in the art of stealth. I have my ways.
That you do. That you do. There's no disputing that. But again, the tongue flicks out. But seems odd that you would be coming at this time to want to take care of our product. Isn't it safer here in the city behind these walls?
Perhaps until the walls are filled with elves and the streets and,
Yes, they did say if they breached the walls, maybe 1 in 2 would be killed.
Precisely. And I'm not very threatening, as you can see.
No, you're not.
As I look up at her. I'm not very threatening. So people look literally right over me. I'm not very, I don't know.
So what of
threatening.
our product do you wish to protect?
Nothing specific. Just whatever you think would need.
Just like 3,000.
Just
Whatever. Just like whatever.
or 10, I don't know. Whatever you would think would be most valuable, or what you wouldn't, not necessarily most valuable, I guess, but what you would prefer to keep safe and out of the way in case the guild were to be compromised.
It's a very vague plan that you have. Your concerns are appreciated, but you have to give me more than that. All I know is that you want to take some of our inventory out of the city to protect it, but for how long and where will you go?
Both very good questions.
Yes, I thought they
This
were.
was at the window.
Period.
Hello!
I said to myself as I was mulling your plan over in my head, I thought, there's a couple of good questions. I think I'll ask them.
And this is why I respect you so much. Bead of sweat. Oh my god.
You can use my name, it's fine.
Jolis, you are good at sneaking around, and you are good at selling our product. I will give you that. But you're a horrible liar. Now tell me,
True.
what sort of trouble are you in?
Just so you know.
And you
this,
can
though, I
try
should
it.
explain
You can try it to
know
deceive
if
her.
it
Just do a
is.
deception roll.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Oh, but what if I...
Because you don't know if she's bluffing or not.
Sure. What would make you think I'm lying, Asna? Have I lied to you before?
Double down.
Oh, standing at full height. I
All
like
3 feet of
that.
me.
Well, this predicament has brought out a different side of you. You tell.
A little sparkle.
Answer the question.
Where are we going?
I don't know. I have not found any of this out either. I've just been making things up. I literally threw the Denver out
I hear
there.
Disco's voice. Just talking
Just lie for
nonsense.
her. Just say whatever.
Wait, look at this map.
What sort of trouble are you in? That you would need to
That's this one.
dip
All right,
into our
Asna.
merchandise.
I'll give it to you straight. My friend Disco has some outstanding debts
Hearing it out loud, so much
with the Copper King. And he has unfortunately thrown me into it.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Did he now?
And I would never
Assassin's Guild should be able
put the guild in harm's way. I have full intention of being loyal to you. But Disco does owe him about 5,000 gold.
The tongue flicks out.
Or he said he would be willing to, as a down payment, take 3,000 worth of our product. Now, I had no intentions of not doing right by us. But I don't see what I can do to help out my friends and not become shark dinner. Is there anything that I could do for you?
We have 12
But
boats.
first, for yourself, you could not have friends like Disco.
You know, yeah. I've tried to shake him, but he's just... Have you met Disco? He's quite charming.
I've heard of him.
I'm sure you have.
You have mentioned him once or twice.
Yes.
You tried to shake me?
Never. Whatever, I'm not your favorite gnome in the city.
Oh shit, you're right.
So, your friend's gotten himself in trouble, and he's dragged you down into it.
Yes, that is...
And so
Summed
your
up
first thought was to
perfectly.
come here and take our inventory by telling me that you were going to...
Not take. And I did have full... This was not 100%.
Choose your words wisely.
Asna, I would like to apologize for trying to deceive you.
Much better.
Is there anything I can do for you?
You can tell me how you are going to get our product
We had a good plan.
out of the city.
I had it right here.
Consider us a mass lizard. Just saying.
I don't know you yet.
I know.
I have a feeling I'll know this really attractive lizard shaman later on.
Being Tinder.
You're one of our best product movers. You know that, right?
I do, actually.
Surprisingly
because of me.
fewer people. Yeah. There are surprisingly few people in the city, in our guild, who are able to sell as much as you do. It would be a shame to lose that skill,
Sure.
especially this to one as distasteful as Copper King.
Yeah. Nasty fellow.
He's a bit of a brute.
the sailors don't That's how we do. You're on the road. Traveling the sailors.
I do believe I have access to a boat. That is true. And wherever we may go, and I'm going to be completely honest, we don't necessarily have a destination at this moment.
TBA.
But I will happily move our product in other places and spread in.
You're doing great, Dorcas. Yes, keep going with that. That's perfect.
You see her
Can we
eyes just narrow to
continue to
slits.
broaden our demographic. And we do intend to come back. There are people in the city that we care deeply about, and I have my loyalties to you and to the guilds. And
Let's see how loyal you are.
okay,
This is what we're going to do.
okay.
We're going to take a break.
Oh, damn.
End of session 3. So, thank you for tuning in for sessions 3 of that one DnD live stream. We love having you guys check in. We love having you watch. We enjoy playing this game so much. We hope that you had as much fun with this as we did. Thank you for tuning in. We will be live again in 2 weeks for 4 more hours of just fun D&D.
Do I consider myself pretty good with voices? Yeah, I think so. I like to think I'm pretty good with voices. I like to think that I have a good variety. I can do a little bit of Southern. I can do a little bit of New York. I could do a little bit of Polish. And like, who said they all end up sounding Jewish, Japanese? They don't.